Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a little bit, but today we are having our second race of the race season happening. So basically what we're going to be doing is, well, fucking racing, you know? I have in-car that I'm going to be running today. I'm going to have some exterior view. I should have some here in a few days to be able to put in this video. I know it's been a little bit since I have come on the channel and done like anything, but I mean, life just gets in the way, you know? So we're just gonna make sure that we get the racing done. Well, that sounds weird, but we're racing, you know, so let's get out there, let's race, let's have a good time. I might do some updates throughout the day, or it might just be straight into some after race commentary that I do later, but yeah. And if this does look and sound different, I'm just recording this part on my phone. The GoPro is kind of just in a box right now, ready for in-car. So yeah, let's get into it.
Okay, so hopping straight into the action, we did decide to go out and do a few hot laps because the track was just awful when we got there in the beginning. It looked like we weren't going to be racing. I was honestly pretty scared that we weren't going to be. I was really hoping that we were going to get to actually race. But yeah, so we went out and we did a few hot laps. Not something we normally do. Normally we just want to get on the track for our heat race, and that's the first time we'll hit the track for a weekend. But uh, really felt like I needed to test out a few lines, see how the track was handling. As you saw there's a huge puddle going into turn 3. So we were really trying to see if our low line was going to be at all feasible for those corners today. But yeah, that didn't really go well for us, but it was worth a shot. It was worth trying, going out there and doing a few laps. So obviously we didn't learn everything that we wanted to learn from our hot laps, but it was worth going out there and just getting a little bit of a feel for how the track was going to be handling. It was not good. I'll just put it plain and simple. The track felt awful. When we first got out there, before any of the actual races started or anything, it was just hot laps and packing it on the track. The track was very wet. It was very slow. It just did not look like a lot of fun at all. We were really just hoping that it was going to get better before our heat race, which was next up in my day at least. This was after all the other heat races for the day. So we had our race right after the um, the hobby stocks. So, all the rear wheel drive cars were right before us. So we were hoping it would pack down that bottom line a little bit more, but a lot of those rear wheel drive stuff pack up the top more and lay more rubber down up there because that's where they run. So, yeah, let's hop right into the next segment of video I got, which is from our heat race. We were starting on the pole position, so we really got to get out there, starting first, and get a feel for how that was going to be, as we did end up starting on the pole for our feature race as well. Okay, so here we are coming to the green flag on our heat race. Uh, First race of the day, first time starting up front as well. So it was an interesting experience. We did get a pretty bad start. It seemed like we did get a better jump after we actually started going than the person starting in second on my outside. But then we just really tried that low line, tried to hang it in there, tried to get around those puddles, as you can see. Really was a struggle. Track still felt really bad, but the laps felt decent. It felt like I was getting around the track as fast as I needed to. It felt like it was at least decent lap times. Was putting at least a decent distance on people. It felt. Obviously, you're not sure, and you can see I'm really struggling with the wheel there, turning it a lot more than we want it to be, especially going into turn 3 and staying in turn 3. It was a real struggle, but I just stuck with that low line. I wanted to run a little higher, but that middle groove on the back straight was a bunch of potholes and a bunch of ruts, basically. So we really were not trying to put our car in there and potentially end our day, maybe blowing a strut or popping a bead off our tire or off our wheel and losing a tire. Really was what we were trying to prevent. So I just kind of took the race as it was. Wasn't great, as you can tell. Doing a lot of work on our steering wheel. Way too much, just scrubbing off speed. And not running out as far to the wall as we needed to. But we just kept it pinned, kept it down on the inside. You can hear there's another car right by me. There is, in fact, a car on my top side coming through here. There he is, that number 15 car. It seemed like he was very fast. It seemed like he was our biggest competition for the day, other than the track. And he was our biggest competition last race, too. Well, not our biggest competition last race, but we could tell that he's very fast. We did both do something really risky with this lap car here. He went on the top side, I took the bottom side, kind of just sandwiching him. And then it was pretty much a drag race to the finish. And you can see me look over and realize that he got us right at the end. Not ideal, but we're not gonna complain on a second place finish in our heat race. It did still end up giving us the first position on the feature, which is the important race. So up to this point, our day has not been not what we expected. It hasn't been phenomenal, but it's been really good. Track obviously isn't ideal at all. We are obviously really fighting with the track, fighting with the lap cars, fighting with that number 15 car. But overall, we were pretty happy with the day up to this point. It really looked like it was good to set us up for our feature race. And our feature race, obviously, last race of the night. So everybody else has done their feature races. Each feature was about 20 laps. So there's a ton of The track is completely different now. We thought the track was different between the hot laps we did in our feature race. Well, now we're fighting a whole different animal, a completely different track, other than the layout, which obviously would stay the same, but the conditions of the track are completely different. We have pretty much no idea what we're going into when it comes to the track for this next part of the feature race. I was paying attention to the track all night, watching the races, watching how it changed, watching where people were running, what I might be able to incorporate into my laps and my time. That it differs because obviously I'm a front wheel drive little four banger versus these 300 horsepower 600 cc rear wheel drive, completely different from what I'm racing. But you can watch what they're doing and integrate a little bit of what they're doing and how they're racing into what you're doing. So obviously I watched them all night, watched where I could be, where I thought I could be, what would work, what might work, what might not work. Had my parents there and my siblings, and they were watching the heat race, watching what that 15 car was doing so much better than me that he was able to pass me and get that heat win. And it was just that he was running the top of the track because I was being stubborn and sticking to the bottom side because my laps felt fast enough. I was pretty happy with it other than turn 3. But like my dad was saying, it was completely killing my lap times, just completely um, destroying them. No chance of having a good lap time with what was happening. You know, so I took that all into my brains, thought about it, thought about what I could do differently, thought about what might help if I do it differently, and everything like that. And I really took all that to heart, paid attention, and you know, uh, prepped for how I was going to do the feature. I pretty much had my line planned that I was going to be taking when before I was even on the track. When I was sitting in the lineup, getting ready to go onto the track, I already knew where I was going to be running. But yeah, let's hop straight into that footage. Fair warning, there was a crash that you can see. Um, the driver is okay. It looks a lot nastier from the in car than it was on the out of car. So I'll not include the in car. I'll just do the out of car. But all the drivers were okay. Nobody got hurt that badly. Obviously, It's not going to be completely ideal when you hit the wall at all. But as long as we're all okay, that's all that matters, right? So yeah, let's hop straight into that footage. Okay, so here we are at the green flag, starting our feature race, starting in the front row, and you can see we got a much better launch than we did the first race here. You know, leading the field by a good measure before we even get to turn one. So that's when you know we are doing something right. And you can see I'm running the bottom in the first corner, and then I'm sliding all the way up to the top and taking the top of the track all the way around for the 3 and 4. You know, driving right down to the bottom, you know, just pinning it right on the bottom, and then letting the car slide all the way up, coming out of 2 to get the top side of the track for 3. This was feeling really fast. The conditions, the track, and everything, this setup, how we were running, felt very fast. So I just kept doing it, you know. In my mind, I was running hot laps. You know, saw nobody in front of me, didn't hear anybody around me, so I was just trying to put on a little bit of a clinic, just running my hot laps and just trying to perfect my lines, perfect my corners, where I was braking, where I was on the gas, how hard I was on the gas, you know, all of that important stuff that you got to be thinking about when you're in a race car. You know, so here we're slipping and sliding through these corners really quickly. It felt super fast, and you can see that I had decent, um, a very decent lead on the rest of the field by this lap, which I think we're on lap 3 or 4 right now, and we already have that much of a gap on everybody else. So you know we were feeling really good about the car, and we're already coming up to a lap car. We're not going to get him until next lap, but that's not a big deal, you know. In my mind here, I was thinking, how can I pass him and not cause my race to end, you know? Didn't know how close anybody was to me, you know. Obviously, I did have a decent lead, but I felt that I needed to get around him immediately, so I ended up taking a little bit of a higher line through 1 and 2 here, just to make sure that I could not, you know, be stuck behind him, and then I just sent it around the outside of him, going into 3. And lap felt very fast as well. Really didn't ruin my lap at all. You know, obviously didn't go where I wanted to go for 1 and 2, but I mean 3 and 4, we were able to get around him, and he cost no time for us. You know, a little bit maybe, but for the most part, it was no time for us. You see, we're still fighting with the car a little bit. Not as bad as we were in the heat race or in our hot laps, but we are still fighting the car, fighting the wheel a little bit, you know, going a little bit more than we want to go. But, you know, we're just going for it. We're just trying our best to, you know, put as much distance on the field as we can. Yet again, I still had no clue where anybody was at this time. I was just running my own race. I was just running my hot laps, really. So, just putting on a little bit of a show, trying to get as far in front of the field as we can, and we're doing a damn good job at it, dude. You know, coming around, you know, we are just keeping it clean, keeping it smooth as fast. You know, you want to be as smooth as you possibly can, to try to keep your lap times up, to try to keep your averages up, which is important. You know, it's not how fast you can go, it's how fast you can stay going, how fast you can go with a group of laps. Here we're catching up to that lap car again. Really doesn't have a very fast car, but it's all right. And right here is where we're going to see that accident that he had, where his steering wheel came off in his hands, and he just smacked the wall. Kind of scared me. I was really hoping he wasn't going to bounce off the wall and come back down to me, but we're slowing down for the caution here, and then eventually the race did get red flagged, and we just completely stopped. Okay, so here we are going to our green flag start after the accident, after the caution. So we're doing Delaware starts, so it was just one single, or the leader was single file, and then everybody else was stacked up behind him. I got a much better jump here than I did any of the earlier races or anything, and we just kind of sent it. We didn't get the exact line we wanted through 1 and 2, but I was trying to block it off and try to keep my line. So, we were able to keep it up where we wanted to be, though. Stay on the top side there, and then on the bottom in 1 and 2. Coming through here. All I'm thinking about here is just how can I leave the field again, I knew that I had some sort of lead, but I didn't know how big it was before. But I was really thinking here, how can I do that again? How can I replicate that? And in my mind, it was to keep my laps running how I was and just keep my own race to myself, not trying to get into anything with anybody. Here, another caution did end up coming out for debris on the track. So obviously not ideal, but, run a few laps after the green flag, restart, and green flag restart, yellow flag restart, the caution restart, and, we were able to, just keep on first in that spot. All right, so here we are coming back to the green flag here. We're going to get a very good jump again. Really, I was trying to leave, and you can see on the GoPro here there is some water droplets. You see I'm going to be doing a lot more work on the wheel for the rest of the race because it was getting really slick out there really quick, It was just little spritz, but that car got very loose very quickly, and we were just sliding all on the track. You can see how much work I'm putting in on that steering wheel. A lot more than I was earlier. I was still happy with my lap times, though. I still thought I had it. You see me wiping my visor off a little bit here because I started to realize it was raining and the track was getting a lot slicker. Doing a whole lot more work than we want to be doing on that steering wheel as well. Wiping my visor again there, and then here we're entering that corner, not exactly how we want to, still hitting where we want to go, but then sliding up really early, not exactly how we want to be doing this. Here going into 3 and 4, we're just slipping and sliding straight through the corner, not exactly how we want this to go at all. But here I have a really bad mess up because I'm just pulling up my visor, and we almost lose the car completely. We almost wreck it straight up into the wall, but I was able to hold on to it, and we were able to keep going. At this point, my visor is completely open, so I'm just getting water in my eyes because I just needed to be able to see the track. And there, the caution is put out because there was another kid, or another one of the drivers, slid up and hit the wall. You can see him up at the top of that GoPro. He didn't hit it fast at all. He bounced off the tire on the infield and just kind of sent him up. So he's all right. No need to worry about him. I was talking with him after the race, and he was all good. But here we're just waiting and to see what they're gonna do, and they do decide to call the race. And you can see my reaction immediately. I'm celebrating. I'm happy. I'm, insanely happy that this race is over. You can hear me there yelling. But at this point, I realized that I did just win the race. So yeah, that is how our second race of the season went. Our second race day of the season went. Started off pretty rough with the track and how we were feeling. With the track being as muddy as it was when we got there and everything, we were really scared we weren't going to be able to race. But we're very happy we were able to, obviously. The second place in the heat race, not ideal starting from first, but, it is what it is. He got us right at the end. He just had the faster car there and the better strategy. And then the feature race that we absolutely dominated in. And man, it felt really good to get back in that car after our week 1 wreck and be able to deliver a finish like that and in dominating fashion as well. On a track that was not ideal, conditions that were not ideal, and overall we were able to just score a victory. Feels great, and We're winners, baby. We even got the trophy to prove it. Look at that. Sport Compact Division feature winner. That's us, baby. That is us. Um, but yeah, so that's how our second race of the season went. I know it's a pretty long video, and it's a long video for a return because I haven't uploaded in a while. I am sorry for that, but yeah. I'm gonna bring you guys over to my post race self after we got home and everything kind of settled in. And yeah, you'll sign us out.
Okay, guys, just got home from the races and we did it. We fucking did it, dude. We actually went out there and were able to race after our wreck the first week, after everything, all the hard work we put into this, after all everything. It finally paid off. Second race of the year. We came home with the trophy. So, really happy. You know, it's a good feeling winning, let me tell you. It's great. But season's not over. We still have a bunch more of these to collect, and the big one at the end of the year. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep my head down, keep working. Uh, Sorry, I haven't been very good on uploading and being consistent and everything, but I mean, life happens, bro. But definitely gonna come back stronger. Definitely gonna start uh, working back here on the YouTube and everything. But for now, we're winners, and that's all that matters. So, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, and man, it's good to be a winner. Peace.